What's up guys, Hades here. Good to be back. Sorry I've been away for a while. I got really sick. I had the flu. I was in bed for 20 hours a day. But I'm back making videos. KVK just started. We spawned in the blue area and we have a battle here. We have a bunch of top players, top alliances, and we already had some fighting. I had day one fighting. I'll show you a screenshot. Here, I was number 2 right off the start. Big whale here, 8-8 holy, got everything, 720,000, and I'm gonna have some reports against him. As you can see, we're both in the top, and I grew a ton of honor. I started at 34.9 with a very low ranking, and I'm already up to 39.9. So I'm up 5 mil on the first. Honestly, the first hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I went to bed. But let's look at some reports, because I told you guys that fire would be very powerful in the very near future, and I was absolutely right. I have a handful of reports. We're going to deep dive into a couple of them, kind of explain why it's good, how it's good, what it's been doing, and yeah. It's something you can be doing because it has a ton of value. So here was a rally. You can see that this is the guy right here. He's not full HP. You can see the 11,000 instead of about 18. But his Poseidon is nearly full. His backline's nearly full. Only his tank is a little bit weak, right? But then this is a pretty solid cleanup, and then I finish off the rest, right? But this is my 620,000 fire. I'm still way off the portrait. The portrait's like 20. My immortals are still 25. My artifact isn't developed at all. And you can see 25, 28. My Sion artifact is still terrible. Needs to be percent attack. Her attack's only 9,400 compared to Hippolyta, which is 11,000. So there's tons of room to grow, and yet I'm able to clean up very, very strong players. Oh, not to mention Dust. This is wrong, but Dust is at 10, 10, 20, and 10. And I'm going to plan on putting Hippolyta to 20 probably in the next couple days. So let's look at some stats. You can see here that Syndiok definitely hard carried this one, and he just wasn't able to keep up with the damage. The battle was about 46 seconds, which is pretty normal. But I also noticed recently that I've been missing a lot. 10 misses and 15% is a lot of missing. You shouldn't miss at all, which means I'm gonna have to make some upgrades and adjustments in the future so that she doesn't miss. That's a part of that dust problem, right? Not having enough of everything. So here's a 1v1 against his shadow, which is also 700k. You can see here versus 640, and this is not a win at all, but this is significant damage, right? In a defense, if you're the second person, especially defending your own territory, if they have any sort of damage, I'm gonna be able to deflect this or block this, right? And we dive into the stats. You can see in some of these matches, Wu really holds her own, and my infinite firepower is still only 5, and I've been adjusting her skills a lot to figure it out. But because her crit rate is maxed out and it's so high with everything, she really can pop off and do a lot of damage. Now this build is very dangerous, and the reason you lose is if you can't burst the Wukong down, you will not win, because he'll just heal it all back. And looking back at those stats, you can see here he healed back 4 mil from Unyielding and 2.4 from Battle Authority. So very tough to take him down. He's gonna do a ton of damage to you, but I have more than one report against this March in specific. There it is, another 1v1, absolutely destroyed. 37 from Sion, 14 from Wu. You can see the crit rate, 73%, is so high. You're getting a ton of burst here. Death Breath went 100%. And when these start to proc crits, that's when you get all your damage from Syndiok. So it's this dual carry backline, which I have been assisting assisting with Trajan. And it's all kind of just coming together. And again, there's so many stats just completely missing from my team. But moving on, we got another one here. You can see, again, it's cleaning up a march, and then it's beating a Loki team. Now, why does it beat a Loki team? Well, I do have Fighting Master, so Sion can't damage myself. And then when you dive into the stats, she's doing all the work. I'm getting all the crits here, and then she's popping off. Pretty simple. And the final report. A very strong team here. Athena, YSS, Fufei, Loki. 720,000. I'm down like 80k. And then boom. Even in these longer ones, you can see Wu sometimes just pops off, and she does so much damage. She did more than Seondeok. Most of the time, I'd say 60% of the time, Sion carries, and about 40% of the time, Wu will out damage her or be slightly behind. And remember, Wu has way less. She's got 28 versus Sion's 30. She's not as developed in the specializations, 3 versus 5, I think. 3 versus 4. So, all in all, the fire is absolutely doing exactly what I thought it would. And I'm going to show you why. So, a lot of these teams have battle stands, essentially. So, when you watch a replay, you're going to see that their teams just start slow, and fire starts fast. He did have a tiny bit of damage already taken, and that definitely helps me a lot. But in a KVK situation, you almost never fight a team that's full HP, like full, because there's always rallies. At high level play, people are rallying back and forth. But you can see, as soon as you get a foothold in a match, it's just over. They evaporate. Loki just barely started to go. He's only ulted once, and he can't stop my Seondeok from getting through. Now, I haven't been using Unyielding. In a fight like this one, I would have preferred Unyielding because I got so low. I would have been healing the whole time with extra crit. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, if he had been full HP, I probably wouldn't have won. And you can see Wu got a lot of the assisting here, and that's why she was able to do so much more damage. But that double backline really helps, especially when you're fighting against Himiko's. If one goes in, you're still strong, right? So that's kind of where we are. I'm telling you, fire is going to be absolutely meta for the next few months. If you haven't started it, I highly recommend it. You don't need maxed out everything. It's still going to be very powerful. But yeah, miss you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.